All right, we're ready. Alright, as usual, I want to go through the setup here because it's easier to do on the phone. So I got my JCM 900, which is modded to have the diodes bypassed. And I have my, this also has a depth mod. So there's a pot in the back that I can twist to make it thicker. That's what she said. So alright, so here's the JVM. No mods done to this whatsoever. It's a 205, so 50 watt. And that's 100 watt. And my amp selector, and both amps are running through this Super Overdrive, which I'll turn on and off just so you guys can see the settings on this. I'm just doing level all the way up, drive all the way down, and about 2 o'clock for the tone. And that's going into my noise gate and into the line selector so I can seamlessly switch between these guys. For the speaker setup, we got an SM58 and an E609. Going into the DAW. All right. All right, what's up everybody? Today we are going to go through these amps, and let me check that my camera is pointing at me. Perfect. Okay. All right, so we're going to do two Marshalls today. It's going to be the JVM 205H, and we're going to do the JCM 900. I do have SD1, as you guys saw in the setup, so we're going to use that in as needed basis. We know as needed basis. Was that a pun? Maybe not. But we're going to go through each of these and just kind of see if the 900 can pair up to a JVM. Like I said in the beginning video, that this one is modded to have the diodes bypass, and I can point to a video that I did that on using that tutorial, and it came out great. I absolutely love passing that. Like it is basically pedal distortion inside of the 900s, and you go ahead and clip a few things, and for the most part, then you're good to go. The JVM is stock, so we're going to go through these two. We're going to go through the cleans, we're going to go through a crunch, and we're just going to compare it. Let's do it. You guys heard a little clip of at the very beginning of, the distortion, and what that was channel B on the JCM 900, and the orange channel, which is my favorite channel, on the JVM on the Overdrive channel. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the cleans and check those guys out. So I'm going to switch over there, switch back over to JVM. I'm going to switch to channel A, and I need to turn the gain down for that guy. Now, the EQ is all at noon for everything. Let's go ahead and see the JVM's clean sounds like. Very chimey, and that's even with the neck pickup. So let's go over to the 900 and see what that sounds like. It's on the neck. We need to bring up the volume on that. Let's bring up the gain. There we go. You know, I'd like to have a little more bass on it, so we're just going to go ahead and mess with the EQ a little bit. Both of them sound pretty similar, so that's the JVM, and this is the 900. I mean, that's pretty much the same. All right, let's go ahead and let's give some more bass. Let's give about to about 3 o'clock on both for the bass. Let's go back to JVM. There we go. Okay, let's go to 900. You know, the 900 sounds a little chimier, actually. And we do have the gain, so it's funny because the JVM works a little different in that the gain on the clean channel is the volume. So it tries to keep a really nice, some nice headroom in it, but it does break up towards the end. So we'll go ahead and check that. I'll go ahead, turn on the master on the JCM 900 and just check out what the clean channel push sound is like here. So let's go over to the JVM. See, the volume goes up. We're gonna bring the master down. We're gonna go all the way up. Wow. It actually really thickens up. And that's what I found with tube amps is that with the preamp tubes, if you take that preamp gain and turn that up, it thickens up the whole sound. Which makes sense, right? Let's go over to the bridge. Okay, that's a good push clean sound. Let's go over here and mess with this. And let's see if we can turn the master down on that and bring up the gain all the way up. Whoa. Okay. That really goes into like rock and roll territory. Which makes sense because the JVM is split up into 3 channels per 3 modes per channel. So you can have more headroom on the JVM than you can on the JCM 900. Not to say you can't turn the gain back and make that happen, but I think they just kind of sectioned out the JVM a little more to give you more tonal options, I guess. So clean, pushed, crunch, into mid gain, and into lead gain. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's go back over to JVM. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go over to the orange channel on this and see if it can go up to the 900. Oh yeah. So we're gonna bring the gain back on that. It's a cleaner sounding gain too. Has that Telecaster vibe. Now I do have new strings on this guitar, and the pickups on this one are Bill Lawrence pickups. So Bill Lawrence, is that it? I hope I'm saying that right. So those pickups I think are phenomenal. They're those big old rails, so they got a lot of push going on there. All right, let's go ahead and go over to the JCM. Not as big sounding. Let's go ahead and pump the volume just a tad. JVM. JVM sounds more rounded. I like the JVM more on the orange channel there. Let's bring the gain back a little bit. Bring the bass up and let's bring the middle back a little bit. Let's actually bring the presence back some. JVM. All right, let's go back to JCM. Bring up the level a little more. That's pretty close. That's close enough. It gives the same feel that you're trying to go for with that push clean kind of sound, right? So yeah, the 900 can do it. All right, now let's go over to the red channel, bring the gain to about halfway, and then we're going to go all the way up with the gain on the JCM. So let's listen to the JCM. That's a really fun spot. Like, that's totally the... That's totally that. All right, let's go over to the JVM, and we're on the red channel right now. Okay. Really thick. I'm gonna bring the bass back some, and let's bring up the treble. I do like that. That sounds pretty good. I'm actually going to bring the presence back on this too. So it's not at that frequency where it just kind of pierces your ear. That sounds really good to me right there. Let's go back over to the 900. This one sounds like it's kind of piercing my ear a little bit. So let's bring the presence back down to about 9 o'clock. Still, let's bring the treble down. Let's bring the middle down a little bit more. Now we need to bring it back up. That sounds pretty good. The JVM sounds clearer, for sure. I'm liking the JVM a little bit more, but let's see if we can get somewhere close to the JVM on the 900. Let's bring the gain back. A little up more. What do I want? Maybe a little more presence? JVM. It just sounds like the JVM's a lot more controlled sounding. 900 just kind of like throwing frequencies all over the place. Maybe it's because I did that diode work. I don't know. Well, it's pretty close. It's close enough. I do still think the JCM 900 can do what the JVM can do on its clean and crunch channel. All right, let's go over to the overdrive side. We're going to go to channel B on the 900, and we're going to go over to the green channel on the overdrive side. And everything's at noon. Let's put this back to noon too. All right, even the gain's at noon on 900. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the JVM sounds like right now. That's cool. I dig that more than I like the red channel on the Clean and Crunch. Maybe. I personally, from my taste, I would use the green channel on this, on the overdrive side, for my crunch. Let's bring it back and just see how much it cleans up. That's what that gave me, that kind of feel. Let's go back over to the 900 and see what that sounds like. Let's give it some more volume. So this is probably not a fair comparison because this is at noon with the gain. We probably need to bring it back to 9 o'clock. So let's try that. Bring up the volume. JVM. Let's bring that up to 9 o'clock. All right. That sounds exactly the same. JC, oh wait, no. I'm getting mixed up. Right now I'm on the JVM. Okay. JCM. JVM again. Wow, that is really close. To my ear, inside the room here, it sounds exactly alike. That's good news. All right, let's go over to, let's pump the gain up a little bit here. Let's go up to noon on the green channel and see what that sounds like. JVM. There we go. Now we're getting into some heavy territory. I still think that's a very crunch sound. Like, that's the tone I would use for a riff that I'm doing that I want to be just, you know, kind of broken up, but then go into something super heavy, like turn on the distortion and go crazy with it. So let's go over to 900 and see what that sounds like with the gain at noon. Now that'll pass off as just a good rock and roll tone again. It's a lot of fun to play. What should I do now? Let's go ahead and go back to the JVM. Let's go ahead and push that all the way up and just see, you know, how gained out the green channel can get. It really just got thicker. 900. Let's bring up the bass. Drop the treble. That just sounds much more metal. JVM. Very loose. And granted, I have the gain all the way up, so if I brought that back up to noon, JCM. That's just the difference between classic sound and modern sound. The JVM sounds a lot smoother to me. The JCM, it just has this like, it sounds like a 6505 now. It has that like really like scratchy ends. Kind of hard to explain, but I can't really dial it out with the treble or the presence. So take it, take that information and use it as you will. But if you like a 6505, I think you'd like a JCM 900 if you did these mods. Okay, let's bring that back. Let's go to on the orange channel. This is definitely my favorite channel here. So let's check it out. All right, let's go to 900. I feel like the JVM still has more resonance to it. It just sounds a little bigger. Let's bring up the bass on this guy. There we go. All right. Let's do the orange channel one more time. Dude. That orange channel is just so freaking awesome. JCM 900. This definitely needs more gain. Let's go ahead 3 o'clock with this. There we go. Now it's starting to fill out. I guess just because I pumped the gain up on it. Okay, before we go on to the overdrive section, I want to go hit the red channel on this and just see how much gain is there. Whoa! This is the JVM and it sounds pretty flubby, to tell you the truth. I'd have to really bring back the bass. Okay, that's pretty flubby sounding. Go back to 900. Totally different now. That's the kind of flubbiness that I get from a Mesa Boogie, for sure. All right, so there's a big difference between these two, is the flubbiness of each. The JCM 900 is definitely more of a Mesa Boogie kind of flub, and the JVM is just like it's clipping out or something. Yeah. Okay, so now let's see what an overdrive does to it. So I showed you guys the settings on this. I'm just going to turn it on. That's on now. Let's see what it sounds like. Whoa. That's even like too much distortion. Damn it. Okay. My camera keeps on dying on me over here, so I'm going to set this one up. We're gonna lose one angle, but hey. All right, so as we saw, the overdrive is still on. But man, that is so much distortion. Let's go back to the orange channel. Let's turn that off, just see what it sounds like again. Okay, now let's turn it on. That is sick. Let's go ahead and bring the bass back up because we turned that to 9 o'clock. Oh, dude. That's the tone right there. Okay, now that we've heard the JVM with a SD1, let's go over and use the 900 with an SD1. Here's what it sounds like without. Flubbiness, right? Now it's on. I'm gonna turn the bass up all the way. You know, I'd really go for the JCM. And the reason why I say that is because this is 100 watts. It's going to have more room to not compress, tube compress. And the JVM sounds freaking awesome too. And I'm sure you could get away with the band practice and still get the same tone. But the way this cleans up with an overdrive is definitely very Mesa Boogie-like. You know, I've got my triple rec. I don't know if you can see it over there. Probably not. No, you can't. But it is very reminiscent of it, which is really cool about this 900. I don't know if a JCM 800 does it like that, if it has that low-end flub like that or not. It's been a long time since I played one, but let's go back over to the JVM, hear that again. In 900. The best way I can describe this is like, this is like a ferocious animal, or this is just, it's a modern take on a Marshall. That's exactly what they did. Let's hear it one more time. The JVM. Now, just saying, it is brutal as hell. The JVM is killer. I love this amp. But the 900 is a totally different animal, and it's a wild one at that. 900. JVM. All right. What do you guys think? Are you more of a JVM guy? Or are you an old school JCM 900 guy? You tell me. DMD out.